Hi, I'm Joe Ricciuti, and this month I read The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper. James Fenimore Cooper grew up on frontier settlements, and this gave him the ability to understand survival methods. It was a really hardy lifestyle, and he portrayed this survival lifestyle in the Mohegan Indians that he writes about in this book. Also, he understood the history of this place where he grew up, and that history is what he portrays in many of his novels, including The Last of the Mohicans. This novel was an excellent novel. It took place during the French-Indian War. Just a brief summary. There's a British commander and two of his daughters want to visit him where he is. So they are sent through the forest with a guide of a white man, and they run into the Mohegan Indians along with their friend Hawkeye, who is a white man, but he acts like an Indian. He understands the Indian culture. And these totally different groups collide, but they work together, and they fight off a common enemy, which is the Huron Indians, which is our rival tribe to the Mohegans. And basically, several times, the girls are captured, and the Mohegan Indians must rescue them, and this group works together to accomplish their mission. A couple American themes I noticed were the mixing of cultures along with equality. In this novel, two totally different groups of people, whites and Indians, are put together, but instead of placing one group above another, instead of doing that, Cooper shows how they can work together and function as one group. And that's what they were forced to do. They were constantly forced to work together in order to defeat other tribes. Uncas was one of the last two Mohegans, and an interesting thing about him is he fell in love with the white girl, Cora. And this kind of breaks the racial boundaries that were set during this time period. However, in the end, both of these two characters die. Therefore, it shows that though in the American dream we're striving for equality, we're not quite there yet. It's going to take a lot of work. Another interesting thing was the character Hawkeye. As I said earlier, he was a white man, but at heart he was an Indian, and he acted like an Indian, and this also shows a mixing of cultures. A final interesting thing was the legacy of the last of the Mohegans and how their tribe was extinguished, and this kind of symbolizes the removal of Indians in general in America. I would strongly recommend this book to any reader who is even remotely interested in history, especially American history, because it really gives readers a much closer look at things like the French-Indian War, gives more specifics and detailed information on battles and tribes, and it's also very interesting because it shows Indians' tactics and their shrewd behaviors, which, if you're interested in anything like that, that's also an excellent feature to this book. So I would strongly recommend this book. Thank you for listening. Post your questions. Bye.